Hello, Frank.
Yes, Joe.
I was trying to call you. You were trying to call me.
All right. Anyway.
4 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Tonight's movie is Shame, also known as The Intruder, also known as I Hate Your Guts. And the reason it has so many titles is Roger Corman made it, and when it came out, it kind of flopped, and he kept re-releasing it under different titles to see if one of them would catch on, but it never did, and this was his first movie that he lost money on. And that is a shame, because this is a very fine movie. And if you read his Roger Corman's autobiography, he is very proud of it, and it's very daring for its time. It's about school integration in the South, and William Shatner is this rather mysterious man who's a villain from the get-go. This goes quite against type for him, who comes down to stir up racial hatred to keep the blacks from getting in the school. And he engineers I won't tell any more of the plot, but this came out actually 2 months before To Kill a Mockingbird. And To Kill a Mockingbird, set the world on its ear about racial tensions in America and all that. But I think The Intruder compares well to it and is a very fine film. And William Shatner is fine in it, though the legend says Roger Corman didn't care much for Shatner's performance. I think it was Shatner's fine in it. But it's a very well-filmed, well-made film. It's well written and very well photographed. The camera angles, and whenever I watch a Corman movie, I know this is a guy that is not spending a dime he doesn't have to. So budget is always an issue, and you couldn't tell it really from this movie.
Well, it was something he wanted to say. Communicate a story. Yeah,
and if you look at his track record for the time, he was making basically pot boilers, horror movies. He was midway through his Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe series. He was, making films that appealed to the youth audience, and films out to make money, and not films necessarily with a message. And this really sticks out. So,
what year?
Made 1962, released early January 1963. And the author of the movie is also in the movie. Charles Beaumont plays a district attorney or a prosecutor. You'll see him late in the film. And he wrote the novel it's based on, and he wrote the script. And he is my favorite author of the Twilight Zone series. He wrote some of their best episodes.
He wrote The Crooked Man, a Playboy science fiction and fantasy novella, which is really great.
Yes, and he wrote the Twilight Zone episodes Howling Man and Shadow Play, and Perchance the Dream, which I think stand the test of time. You watch them now; they're as eerie now as they were 50 years ago, which is when this movie came out.
A very creative man. We got 1 minute left.
Okay, there's a supporting actor in this named Frank Maxwell, who plays the local magazine editor and newspaper editor. And he's the kind of actor that movies like this and television series love to have, because as soon as he came on, he exuded such authority, such parental type authority. You felt you knew this guy your whole life, and that made it a lot easier for filmmakers, because he didn't have to build a character. He was the character, and it came right up. So, what's next week's movie, Joe?
I don't know. You don't know either?
I don't know. It'll be a surprise for both of us. But
I'll find out before I leave, and I'll email you. Frank, it's always a pleasure. How was Alaska?
Alaska was great. The sun never went down, and 11:30 at night, you say, "Gee, what time should I go to bed?" You realize you're up past your bedtime. So anyway, it was fine.
As Lou Reed says, all her friends call her Alaska. It's so cold in Alaska.
All right.
That was Lou Reed, Berlin album. That's what I think of with Alaska. Hey, Shame is the movie. See you next week, Frank. Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Frank Dello Stritto back in Houston from Alaska, and that's our show for tonight. Thank you.